Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome to a new edition of Africa Today. Cairo hailed the strong ties with Beijing, expressing congratulations to Chinese President Xi Jinping on his re-election as the President of China for a new term. This came at a meeting with the chairman of the board and executive of China International Energy Sources Group Co., Liu Zhixiang, and his accompanying delegation of senior officials in the group. Cairo, during the meeting, expressed confidence that the bilateral relation will witness more positive development at all fronts in the coming years. The Egyptian side expressed keenness to consolidate economic and investment cooperation with the Chinese companies in a number of files of mutual concern. For his part, the chairman of CIEG stressed that the motives for the investment in Egypt during the next stage come within the framework of the deep bilateral ties. To shed more light on the issue, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Ambassador Bayoumi, good afternoon to you.
How are you?
How are you, sir?
Fine,
Ambassador Bayoumi, how would you describe the weight of the Chinese International Energy Group?
I am so glad with all these developments. It proves that the Egyptian foreign policy was right since decades. All those who made different opinion against our foreign policy, they regret it after tens of years. Egypt was the first country who recognized the Chinese system in 1955. Gamal Abdel Nasser with Mao Zedong. And the Americans blamed us for that. The European made the tripartite aggression against Egypt in 1956. Now China is the main trade partner of the United States and very important partner for every single country in Europe, because it is the first exporter of the whole world, the second largest importer of the whole world.
Yeah.
So it is a very important partner for all over the world. So I am happy with this development.
Yeah.
I am happy that we always attend very serious foreign policy, and now we have a sort of a partner which we can depend on, and we exchange high respect to each other. And I think China is one of our main partners in the whole world.
Indeed.
Even politically, economically, trade, investment, name it.
Yeah. Sir, how would you describe here the ties between Cairo and Beijing in light of the visit by CIEG?
I am always happy when the dialogue continues. When the dialogue continues, it means that the relation is going ahead.
Yeah.
So if we see that our leaders make sort of meetings here and there every now and then, it means that they are coordinating among their policies. They know each other. They know what the other partner is looking to this side of the table, of that side. And the coordination is very important for everybody, and everybody gains from such a coordination. So it is very important, and I see as a diplomat that this is really, at the end, we benefit from all these contacts.
What fields here of energy do you expect, sir, to be most attractive to the Chinese investment?
We have all the sort of energy anyway. We have the electric net, the huge electric net which you are building.
Yes.
By connecting the electric net from Baghdad in the far east up till Casablanca in the far west, from Alexandria in the north up till South Africa in the south, passing by all the dams which we are having in Africa, whether it is the dam of Julius Nyerere in Tanzania, the dam of Congo, the dams in Sudan. Hopefully also we shall connect our electric net with Ethiopia.
Yes.
Also
Actually,
we have new discoveries in the field of gas and oil. And we think that we shall fill partially the gap of the European need for energy in general.
Yeah.
And now we are starting to build our line, electric line from Egypt to Greece and Cyprus in order to supply Europe with electricity. Also, we are importing the European gas, surplus of gas, to liquidate it in Damietta and Rashid. And this is another part of the story.
Of course.
Our oil discoveries also, you can add it there. So all sort of energy, Europe is welcoming the Egyptian effort there, and they are supporting Egypt to be a center to trade energy by all its means to Europe and other countries, especially
Yes.
the Far East also.
Yes. Actually, sir, both the Egyptian and the Chinese sides have expressed keenness on extending the strategic partnership. How would you benefit as a country here from this, and what's the mutual benefit for both sides as well?
We are benefiting directly whether China will come and invest in the Suez Canal zone, because by that they are coming nearer and nearer to their markets in Europe and the Americas.
Yeah.
Also, we have a sort of new sort of cooperation, which we call it tripartite cooperation, to invest in Africa with the Egyptian experience and with Chinese finance. This is another sort which will open the markets in Africa to all of us,
Yes.
Egypt, China, and the Arab world also, I think. And this is the last sort of investment we are calling for. China is with us. Japan also is supporting this. And the European Union, our main trade partner, is supporting Egypt's efforts in this direction.
Yes. Sir, how would you describe here Egypt's stance as a gate to the African markets?
Egypt is the most acceptable face in Africa. We have diplomatic representation all over the continent, and we are defending its interests everywhere. And we know that the Africans look to us with very friendly way, with very brotherly way, because we are Africans after all, because we have our civilization of Tutankhamun. He was black also. They are proud that there is white people in North Africa.
Yes.
Islam also has its role in Africa, and Al-Azhar, Al-Sharif have its role in Africa. Our church also, it has its representatives in many African countries. So there are many faces and many reasons that the Africans look to Egypt with a very positive way.
Yes. Sir, how do you explain here the race for investments in the African continent by the superpowers, especially China?
Africa is not in the best situation, because Africa is the second populated continent in the world, and the poorest continent, by the way. And although it is the poorest continent, the flow of money transfer from Africa to the developed countries is much more than it receives as investment or as its exports. So we have to change this situation, and we are doing our best to change this situation. And it's not easy, by the way. We have to do our homework also in Africa to make the situation much better than we are doing now.
Yes,
we still have to ameliorate our infrastructure, roads, communications, banking system, bureaucracy, many things we have to visit and make it better.
Yes. Sir, how is the economic repercussions of the Russian-Ukrainian war following the coronavirus pandemic impacting the investment in Africa?
It is affecting investment everywhere in the world, even in England. Everybody is suffering because of this war.
Of course.
It's affecting the transport, it's affecting the supply of energy, it's affecting the supply of food and cereals. So we all are trying to face this situation, and I hope that Egypt is in a much better situation, relatively, if you compare it with any other economy. Egypt is one of very rare countries who is continuing its development positively. Mind you that in the Americas and Europe and China, the economy is diminishing. So we are giving this experience. We congratulate ourselves because we started our economic reform, which somebody is complaining about it, but it saves us against the corona epidemic and the repercussions of the war in Ukraine.
Yes. Sir, which arenas draw most partnership schemes between China and Africa?
Africa needs everything. The infrastructure needs a good visit. We don't have good airports. We don't have enough ports which can receive mammoth tankers, for instance. We do not have first-class banking system. All these things must be visited, and we have to change the situation to a much better one.
Yes.
Then we can say, hopefully, that we can attract foreign direct investment.
As you have kindly mentioned that we do have many challenges still in Africa. What more obstacles are hindering more investments in the continent?
We asked some investors from Europe visiting us lately, and they say, in general, it is bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is not only that somebody is asking you to bribe him for some money. No. Bureaucracy is a complicated system where a sort of general employee thinks that it is his prestige to make you waiting for him for decades. And now we are in the era of that you have overnight loan. In the United States, they have this expression, overnight loan, that you can have loan for 14 hours, then you establish your project, you buy the merchandise, you sell it, you make profits, you pay back in less than half a day to the bank whatever you got. Here, if you want to draw a check from a bank, you have to wait hours and hours waiting for your time. So we have to change this situation, bureaucracy, banking system, and make our people work more and more quickly.
Yes, hope so. Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Always a pleasure to listen to your precious input, sir. Thank you so much and have a very good day. And Cairo's speech at the 159th session of the Arab League Council highlighted the importance of the Arab support to urge Ethiopia to refrain from the unilateral measures on the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. It warned that the unilateral practices negatively impact Egypt's national security.